For the second week on a bounce, WWE have overstuffed Raw like it's beef ravioli from Chef Boyardee. Last week's Raw was massive. There was loads to digest in this week's one as well. And we're going to go through some of the highlights from Raw. One of those highlights was the first appearance in a long time of Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming, seeing Bo again.
It has, yeah.
It was after Chad Gable, who is alive, by the way, picked up a win in the Money in the Bank qualifier. He was spooked by Abby the Witch, who turned up in a cloud of smoke. And then she gave Michael Cole a package that was wrapped eerily similar to how my brother Mike wraps our Christmas presents every year.
Do better, Mike.
Do better, Mike. Inside was a VHS. Michael Cole just making me feel like the oldest man alive by going, kids won't know this. This is a VHS. I was like, shut up, mate. I watched flipping No Mercy 1999 from the UK on that. Leave me alone. In the package was this tape, and the tape contained an interview conducted by Uncle Howdy with Bo Dallas.
How's that possible? They're the same guy, aren't they? No, they're not. They're two different people.
Same technology that makes you appear twice in these videos. Because there's always comments and people go, I thought they were the same person.
I'm actually Mike Campbell, and I can't wrap Christmas presents.
I knew it.
Anyway, Uncle Howdy kicks things off by asking Bo Dallas how he's felt since the passing of Bray Wyatt, his brother, of course, and Bo replies, like the most important thing in my life was taken away from me, like nothing was ever going to matter again. But then they went somewhere you didn't think they'd go, but I'm glad they did go there because it made for a captivating segment, Tom.
Uncle Howdy asked Bo Dallas outright if he was exploiting his brother's legacy. Dallas replied, all I've ever wanted my whole life was to be like my brother. I looked up to him and I wanted to be him. I worked my entire career so I could work next to him. And we were going to rule together. We were there. We had it. And then it was taken away from me. There is no one on this earth that feels more hurt than me from his loss. What am I supposed to do? Let him become a mausoleum? Let everybody forget about what he stood for, what he fought for, what he believed in? They wanted to forget about me. They wanted to forget about all of us. We made them all remember. So good.
What? What a tour. Because you're wondering after last week, you've massacred just about everybody who's got a pulse. Where do you go from there? And where they've gone quite brilliantly, in my opinion, is back to where the original sort of Bray Wyatt return storyline was, where Bray was in a feud with himself, or fighting with himself, whatever's going on inside his head, with Uncle Howdy eventually becoming a real human man. But now Bo's now fighting Uncle Howdy, but also being Uncle Howdy as well. So it's lovely.
Internal wars as well as external conflict. That's what this is all about. We mentioned this last week, that when it comes to the history, the legacy of the Uncle Howdy, Bray Wyatt stories, the first chapter is always the best. And then in varying ways, it sort of peters off. They never quite have a real clear agenda. They never, they get a little bit distracted. And I feel like this is a story which you need a very clear start, middle, and finish. Regardless of how popular they are, regardless of how many t-shirts they're selling, you need a clear start, middle, and end. You know how The Office had only ever had 2 seasons and then was done? This needs to be that. You need to have an out. It needs to have an end, regardless of how much money you're making as a company, because otherwise it's going to go wrong. It's going to be like the NWO is a great example of a story where we talk about it every week on the Classic Nitro Review. It's a story that should have had a clear start, middle, and end, but because it was making so much money and because it was doing so much merch, they carried it on to the point where it just imploded in on itself and it destroyed the company. And there's a real opportunity here to make a good start, middle, and end of a story. They have started well.
Yeah.
Let's see if they middle and end it well as well.
Yes. Like a cricketer. Oof, right off the middle. Go over the boundary then, away to the beaches.
Nice. Sticky wickets all round last night when we saw new tag team champions crowned.
You can't mention Liv Morgan and mention sticky wickets.
She put a little hot tour on it this week, didn't she? Convincing R-Truth to give the Judgment Day a title match. And much to the chagrin of The Miz, that was a thing that happened. We then had Liv Morgan walking out of the Judgment Day's locker room. Little private tete-a-tete with Finn Balor.
A tete-a-tete, a nice little follow-up to the storyline a couple of weeks ago where Finn Balor was the one who sneakily put the hotel room key in his pocket. They weren't in a hotel room this week. It was just a locker room. But crucially, they were both alone in there. But Finn claims, as any gentleman gentleman would do, then nothing untoward happened. I don't believe him.
Something untoward happened in the main event, though, didn't it?
Yeah, Liv Morgan came down basically, and just because R-Truth has her, or she has R-Truth's trust, that's an easy thing to say. Jesus Christ. She hugged R-Truth, and then all of a sudden, a flick of the switch went off inside Liv Morgan's membrane, change of the face, choked, dropped R-Truth's neck
dropper.
The old necker snapper-oonie on the top rope there, which allowed them Finn Balor to pick up the win. So he and JD are now the tag team champions.
And Liv Morgan left with them. And Raw ends with Balor, McDonough, and Morgan all holding their belts up at the top of the ramp. What's going on?
Liv Morgan is whizzle-wazzling them all.
She is
apart from Priest. Priest hasn't been got to yet, but JD's been talking to in private, we've seen in weeks gone by. Balor's been caught red-handed this week. Dom's slowly getting worn down on social media. We're seeing him getting caught in 4K, as the kids like to say. Whackers all round, Tom.
We're a simple beast, us men. It's a lovely lady saying, oh, should we do these things? And we go, oh, yeah, okay, that's fine. The little brain speaking louder than the big brain on a lot of occasions on Monday Night Wrestling. Liv Morgan had a busy night last night because she had presents for Dominic throughout the night. She had special gifts she wanted to give him.
She sent him a text message, which apparently there was more of that to come.
WWE do not want to be doing stuff with text messages right now.
I reckon it was a nice poem.
I reckon it was a lovely poem.
Yeah.
Or maybe a cat meme.
Yeah.
Quite often the conversations with me and my wife to be are just cat memes now.
Yeah.
So maybe a cat meme. This actually brought out Zelina Vega, who made a point to say that Liv Morgan's been neglecting the women's title and because she's too busy chasing around Rhea Ripley's leftovers. Said leftovers came to the ring at that point in the form of Dominic Mysterio to chants of sloppy seconds. You classy bunch.
Yeah.
And from there, we had Zelina Vega and Morgan get into a brawl that was separated by Dom and Rey Mysterio.
And then Dom went, oh, I've done that too much already. We're killing it, Tom.
He didn't spit on his dad. He didn't spit on his dad. He pushed his dad instead.
His dad.
So consequently, as a result of all of that shenanigan, not only are we getting Rey versus Dom next week on Raw, but we're getting Liv Morgan and Zelina Vega for the women's world title.
Yep.
That's how Raw shapes up next week.
Yeah, nice line in the promo from Zelina Vega where she basically said, you care more about the Dirty D and I care more about the WWE Women's World Championship.
Yeah. See what you did there. We are sending our best wishes finally to Ludwig Kaiser. So we're getting some reports that he got banged up on Raw last night.
Yeah, WrestleVote say, unfortunately, I'm hearing Ludwig Kaiser suffered an injury tonight on Raw during his match with Bron Breakker off the back of a suplex that Bron delivered to Ludwig. It looked like Ludwig was holding his arm there, favouring his arm, so it looked like a real, not a worky injury, but a shooty injury, everybody.
Lots of love online for Ludwig Kaiser, and rightly so. I feel like there's gold in them there, Ludwig Kaiser hills.
Yeah, he's an old-fashioned, like, here we go, an old-fashioned modern-day upper middle card heel, Tom.
Old-fashioned modern-day upper middle card heel.
You know what I'm saying. We shot this video earlier, and it was much better than what I'm producing now.
I think I don't want to say it because you shouldn't really we shouldn't have that kind of huck to a contest with each other. I think this is better than the first one we did.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
I'm getting more tongue-tied just at the thought of Ludwig Kaiser's abs. But yes, he's a very good heel. Very good heel. Looked like he was getting going in more of a singles role off, obviously, the back of the Imperium run with Giovanni Vinci as well. So it's a shame to see this happen right now. Yeah,
so hopefully it's not too bad an injury. We don't know the full extent of it. In fact, you may know more by now, by the time you're watching this. But when we know more, of course, we'll let you know more about it as well at cultaholic.com. On the Cultaholic YouTube channel, I'm so happy about this. My love letter to WWF No Mercy is waiting for you. It's an hour long where we talk about my favourite wrestling game ever for the Nintendo 64. Massive thank you to Andrew Hodkinson, who did a sublime job in editing me just gushing about No Mercy for an hour. He's done a wonderful job. It's genuinely one of my favourite videos that I've done for the channel, and you can check that out right now on the YouTube channel. It's a flipping pay-per-view week for AEW, Ross. That means you and I have got a lot on, and you've got that there, you dirty boy. I'll have that in a minute, thank you.
But tonight on the YouTube channel, the half-year Culties are going live. Who has been the best at wrestling in the first half of 2024? Myself, Jack and Matthew will tell you who. That's today. Tomorrow we've got pictures for AEW's Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Thursday we've got predictions. Friday the regular podcast. And then over the weekend we've got the live stream as the show is happening with myself and Tim, brother of Mike. Obviously coming up the show, what happened at and all the news from the press conference and all that malarkey.
And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe.
Beep beep. Beep beep. Beep beep.
Hug to it.